Hello, so today we thought we'd move on a little bit from sort of the introductions and the kids moving in to talking about other people. And through the process, you're told about the importance of your support network. And we had a support network meeting, didn't we, before we were approved.
Hmm.
Um, and then you need people around you. And I think the saying is you need a village to raise children. Um, and that's certainly true. But it was a bit different for us, wasn't it? Because we were in the middle of COVID and
Yes.
life was weird.
So we had the support network that never was. We had all these people and we just could never see them.
No, so we had the first weeks, months with the kids were really good because it was just the four of us, wasn't it?
Mm.
And so we could bond and get to know each other really well. But at the same time, it was just the four of us. And through the whole process, you get told about making sure that you've got your support network there, but actually being very choiceful about how you introduce them, isn't it?
Mm.
And not bringing them in too quickly because you need to build that relationship with children. Um, and we I think we were going to be mad at some points, just the four of us, weren't we?
We were.
So we'd done video messages to family, and one of the things that we did was a family wall, wasn't it? And we've still got the
Yes.
family wall, so really important, that wall in this house, isn't it?
And we made sure that obviously during the introductions, I don't think it was something we mentioned in the introductions videos. We actually got a picture of the kids and had that put up on the wall. So it grounded them straight away because they was part of the family.
We've got all these pictures, and we still got all these pictures of people in the
Mm.
family and the kids and everything. So there's lots of stuff on there. Um, but so we did video calls, didn't we?
Hmm.
And you know, it was a symptom of COVID doing all of that stuff. But then the first one was when we had your
Yeah,
mum round, wasn't it?
I never forget that meeting because we decided to go out for a walk. Excuse me. We it's not a boring subject. I'm just tired. Um, we didn't when you adopt a child, you don't know when the right time to do introductions are. They say you know when the right time is, but it's really hard to judge. So I remember it was a couple of weeks into the process. Um, we'd gone out for a walk, and my mum, my brother, and his girlfriend had pulled up and was waiting for us. And I remember walking up the road. We was all holding hands, so me and you either side, kids in the middle. Saw my mum turn around. She was bawling like anything. And then we all went into the house, and we thought things were going quite well. You know, the kids bonded very quickly to my brother and his girlfriend. You know, they was kind of engaging with my mum. Um, but then Phil did.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but our son went and hid under the dining room table. Now, dining room table makes it sound like it's a separate room. It was in the same room as the lounge. It was like a lounge diner.
I
And
don't think they need a floor plan.
no, but it puts it into context because your mum was sitting on the sofa and he was hiding under the table, and I thought, oh, I need to find out what's wrong with him. So
Doing the pace
so
parenting
I was
thing.
being curious, and I
Mm.
went and sat under the table with him, and I said, "What's the matter, mate? Tell me what's going on." And he was like, "No, no, no." And then I said, "Come on, you can tell me. It's all right." And he said, "She's scary. She's fat and she's ugly,"
Yeah.
which didn't go down very well.
No, no, that went down like a lead balloon. Um, and but but afterwards, when they'd gone, he was quite remorseful for what he said. So not sort of like told or guided. He wanted to do a video, and he sent a video to my mum to apologise for what he said. But yeah, it was quite mortifying because my mum gets on with all kids. You know, if she could, she'd fly down I was going to say broomstick,
You
but
mean Mary Poppins?
if she sees this, she'll kill me. But she thinks she's Mary Poppins of the children's world. Um, but when this happened, yeah, I mean, now when you see mum with the kids, they're just like,
Well, such especially him and
yeah,
her.
they have such a unique, really strong bond. Um, but yeah, it was interesting.
And I think that made us take it a bit even more slowly with the
Mm,
other family members.
yes.
And my family are a bit further away, so that makes it a bit more difficult generally.
Mm,
Um, but we met up and we met up in like neutral locations, and
mm,
that was what we then started doing, wasn't it? Neutral
yeah.
locations. But that then makes it sound like we've got loads of people to meet, and there aren't loads of people
Mm,
to meet. But the kids are very grounded in family. And then we slowly started to meet different friends and things across different
and
opportunities, didn't we?
and I think that's why all the other meet and greets went well, because we did it in a neutral location. The first meet and greet we did was in their safe space.
Mm.
So having strangers that they hadn't met before coming into their safe space was the wrong thing to do on reflection. Reflection's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, now even 5 years in, if there are people who come into the house who they don't know,
Mm,
they get really nervous. Even if we do the daddy and papa have known these people for years and da da da,
mm,
they still get quite nervous about people they don't know. And we've got a rule, haven't we, about lanyards.
yeah.
So lanyards aren't allowed in the house.
Because we're currently working through the adoption support fund, which will be in further episodes. Any social workers or professionals that come into the house to kind of engage with the children, it's a lanyard free zone. But ultimately, I think with our support network, we had so many people there, and then obviously a pandemic hit,
Hmm.
and then we had nobody there. So not only,
It was great to have people on the end of the phone to talk to.
yeah,
I mean, we would speak to people a lot, but the intensity of just being us in the house
well,
was quite a lot.
the fact was we'd adopted two children that on reflection the local authority didn't give us all the information we needed
Yeah,
to manage. We
I
was
think
in,
they'd probably given us the information they'd got,
well,
most of it.
that's a debate for another day.
Yeah.
Yeah. um we'd started hitting a pandemic. We was in lockdown, so we'd adopted two children that had trauma and PTSD. We was new parents, and it was quite challenging. It's, you could argue it's made us better parents because we've been able to cope with a lot more without professionals on board, but equally it has affected us by not
Mm.
having that support network. So it's really key to make sure you have a really good, strong support network. The downside to it is parents will always have a view on how you have to parent your children.
What I think anybody else who doesn't have children with the type of backgrounds that ours have
Mm,
got doesn't necessarily understand some of the things that you do, and can if you revert to like a traditional, in inverted commas, parenting techniques or things that you might say, so like,
send you're going to go to bed because you've been naughty.
yeah, so you sort of have to go back to the therapeutic parenting bit in accepting that all behavior is communication and being curious about why they're behaving the way they're behaving. And that's really difficult sometimes because you just can't work it out yourself. But there's that piece about thinking about what you're saying in a different way and thinking about how you're talking to the children in a different way.
Yeah, I think the thing we have is we have, I mean, the grandparents, aunties, uncles are brilliant with our kids. We would be lost without them. They say they get it on both sides of the family, but sometimes they don't get it. Like your dad sometimes really tries to stretch the strong boundaries that we put in, and
And
we,
I think about that's natural being grandparents, isn't it?
yeah, but it's really, you have to have strong boundaries
Mm.
with adopted children. So some of this is probably going to cause family arguments with some of the stuff we've said. So if you don't see another video from us, you know that either my in-laws or his in-laws have killed one of us. But yeah, I think the key message is just make sure you have a good support network. Use them for your own mental health and well-being, but sometimes take their advice as just advice, because you guys will know how to parent your children.
And be choiceful and thoughtful about how you introduce people to
Yeah,
your children,
yeah,
where you do it, and how quickly you do it.
yes.